fantastic last 2 picks. Rounds out Onic's draft.
Wow.
It counters a lot already what Team Falcons wants to do. This is already looking shaky for Team Falcons. Even if they end up with a Granger, this is just shaky already.
Okay, they do go for the Granger, but I am not a big fan. I am not a fan at all of the Uranus, you know? Like, Team Falcons, Marco, Owen, Few, Kyle, TZ, Flap, TZ, I respect them, but the Uranus...
It's kind of a stanker. It's kind of
0% win rate, again, just to remind all of you viewers back at home, Uranus hasn't gotten a single win, and we are still kind of like confused as to why it's so popular now.
I don't know. I think people should stop it. I think we need to put a plug on this Uranus. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't particularly like it, but it is quite the enabler, right? It's not a force multiplier. It's more of like a soft setup, and even then, not the greatest. But I'll let you boys handle it to watch and experience it for yourselves in this elimination match. Give it up for Mirko and as well as Rimar. Bring us into the land of dawn.
Well, folks, it's Game 3, the final game of the series. I think it's time for us to see just exactly how much you support your teams. Type 1 if you think Team Falcons are going to win. Type 2 if you think Onic Esports will get the dub as we go and enter the land of dawn for the final time in match number 2, an elimination match. It is match point for both. One last chance.
How is this going to fare for the lineup that has a hero that is yet to win, that people have been thinking since yesterday, this is going to be the next hot pick. Uranus has yet to win, while Keyboy ends up with a Tigreal that Team Falcons are very familiar with. And because of the hard sense of set, despite the AOG being there for Team Falcons, no one in Onic Esports has a Purify. They don't care about the crowd control, little as it may be that Team Falcons can dish out.
Whoa. Okay, it becomes a... Oh, Kyrie wins out that Retri battle.
Okay, early on, I had to dash out to avoid that, and this puts a lot of pressure on Few. Weirdly enough, this lineup, you know, Few and Kyle TZ. Kyle TZ to come in perfectly with the damage up against a Tigreal that again historically counters every CC it deals with.
Wow.
It's a huge deterrent. Even able to out damage Kyle TZ a little bit there. Good pokes onto the Joy. Of course, on the Selena as well. Keyboy, oh, Flicker already out. This is gonna be a... Oh, but Keyboy regen just in time as well to help him survive. Oh, he regen after. Okay.
Yeah, and I wonder what this matchup is going to be for the Phobius versus the Uranus, right? Because, yeah, obviously no CC. The Phobius was picked up earlier. Oh, bottom lane, another gank down below.
Flap TZ could get punished here. Kyrie. Well, of course, that is a tanky Uranus even at level 3 early on, so he's not going to get taken out. I wonder how heavily Team Falcons will contest this first hurdle, because based on everything that we can see right now, it looks good for Onic Esports, but Lutfi, a bit of damage. Ogwin goes in, Abyssal Arrow gets tossed up, but Team Falcons being aggressive. This could be a bad start for the Falcons, as Ogwin already forced to use the Revitalize and Flap TZ with the zone.
Actually ends up being okay. It's not the best for Team Falcons because, again, Ogwin is very low. Lutfi very low too, gets caught by the trap.
Kyle TZ, oh, Keyboy, oh, what a sidestep by Kyle. Not going to get controlled by the Tigreal. Keyboy already brought down really low, and Flap TZ plus Kyle will be able to take down Lutfi.
Oh, they bought so much time from Fuel with the Abyssal Arrows constantly, and now I think the orange buff might be taken as well.
Wow, pushed out of his own orange, and Kyrie forced to just focus on his purple. What a sequence by Team Falcons. I did not expect this early start for them.
Me neither. Lutfi, I don't know about this, man. Walking back up.
He trying. Oh, he still got the orange buff. What a defense by Lutfi.
So at least he claims or, you know, secures the orange buff for his own team, though it's not on Kyrie's hands. It is still, you know, better than it being on Team Falcons' hands. So there you go. Sans, though, getting caught. Oh, a lot of damage. Down to a quarter. Forced to regen.
That's what we were saying earlier. There's a lot of pressure onto Few to land those arrows, but he's been landing it all series long.
This guy, man.
He really needs to be the Sans checker here, and anyone that he can hit and get info on. Keyboy already sees Ogwin. Revitalize, forced out, not enough damage just yet. Severo will not go forward. The Super Marco is there to deter them.
Yeah, I don't think it's the right time here to go for those kind of picks. Severo needs to wait for his out of power spikes. Yeah, Carry has been buffed, but it's not a buff that'll make him much more prevalent in the early game when it comes to one-shotting Gatot Kacha. No, it's kind of a laning phase buff, skill 1, backswing, a lot faster now, which will give her a lot more room to make plays in the lane, but it's still Carry who needs to wait for the 3-item power spike attack speed.
Yeah. Right now, still very level in the gold lane, while Few and Ogun have been checking Onic Esports relatively well. Keyboy not getting a big set just yet, but it's going to be easy for Onic Esports to pull that off. That's why Team Falcons really need to respect their positioning in objective fights. While Flap TZ, I think we're getting a bit of an answer against this Phobias. Uranus over Phobias.
Yeah, Uranus over Phobias, and also because of the Uranus over Phobias, KalTZ, he won the first turtle fight and now has a level lead. Has taken an orange buff again. Well, last time it was Lutpi, but I think that's already a win for Team Falcons, right? As long as Kyrie isn't the one who gets it, it's a dub. And you can see even though KalTZ is gone and cut the waves, Phobias is not dealing with him good, well at all.
Yeah, look, he's having a nightmare up against this Uranus. Seems like that's it.
Oh my goodness.
It's an answer for the Fove, and Keyboy goes in with the set and the combo as well. Onic Esports are going to be able to get the turtle. Team Falcons, are they going to chase them down? Too much pokes, too much damage. Flap TZ goes in, Kyrie stopping Flap, and Team Falcons will concede that turtle.
Wow, great stabilization from Onic Esports. I really did not think Falcons would be able to get that control, take that away.
Yeah.
Give it away to Onic. I mean, Onic, they just did it quick. They did it so quick, and they had so much tempo with Keyboy flanking that Falcons were forced to concede. Flap had such a big advantage against Lutpi too.
Yeah. Flicker plus the implosion. Perfect timing by Keyboy. It wasn't the big group set, but he got who he needed to get in that one. This time, Flap TZ forced to use that wasn't the consecration, that was the purify, you're right.
This Purify is out of there, and KalTZ is still keeping the steady lead. Was able to steal the green camp just earlier, popping that retribution. And that's what KalTZ has always been able to do against Kyrie, all the way from Snapdragon Season 3 to M5. Falcons and KalTZ have always had KalTZ in a better spot to invade and take little camps away to get that lead.
Traps everywhere laid down by Few. Still checking Keyboy successfully. I wonder if it's going to come back to bite Marco later, the fact that he didn't pack a Purify and then he packed the Flicker instead. Is he just really hoping that Keyboy will not find the angle on him? But then he also just needs to be super careful.
Yeah, it becomes kind of a stalemate right now. If there are no neutral objectives, it's a farming battle. Sans wants to farm up, waiting for his power spike. Granger does the same thing, and obviously for Savero on the carry, not as fast to get the item power spike as the Irithel that we've seen 2 games in a row. So it's going to be very, very slow. I think for the carry, actually, you have a better time against Selena too, because your dash comes up really quick.
Yeah.
So it's easier to dash away and dodge from the Abyssal Arrow.
Ogun poked down to close to 60% health. Abyssal Arrow not going to land. Falcons aren't going to be contesting this, but two of their frontliners are closer to 50% health. This does not look healthy for Team Falcons, but KalTZ in a flank angle. Onic Esports does not read and does not recognize if Vero will get a bit of the damage. KalTZ loses the retry battle, and he dashes on out of there. Flap TZ left behind, but he is not going to get chunked down by Onic Esports as Team Falcons loses that.
That was a bit unfortunate. The Letho takes the shot of the Abyssal Arrow, so Onic are very happy to just walk forward. Savero gets a turret up top. Bottom lane turret was taken down by Team Falcons. Onic have swung the gold lead back towards them, but it is still not really that big of a gold lead. Only 400. A taunt over to Kyrie. And for both teams, again, it's back to scaling. They don't want to fight. They know that without neutral objectives, this is not a brawl anymore as it was the first 2 games.
It's been a long while since Onic Esports beat this roster, these players in a full series. M5 upper bracket finals.
Yeah.
That was the last time. And every time they've met after that international tournament, this roster that they're up against always got the better of them. But now it looks like Onic Esports are poised to go into around minute 10, minute 11 with a big lead, unless Falcons finds a way to turn things around.
It's going to be on the hands of Super Marco to do it with KalTZ. Hunter Strike, Sky Piercer, and the Melphic Roar. For Super Marco, still no stacks on the Sky Piercer just yet, but one big fight could set him up to be the carry that Falcons need him to be.
Okay. Falcons are split up right now. Same goes for Onic. Kyle cannot see anything in the purple buff, so rebalance things out. Again, it seems like from game 1 to game 2, now game 3, things have gotten slower and slower, much more methodical for these two teams. Their approach has changed from that MLBB for the streets approach from game number 1.
To back to MLBB for the Shields. It's all about the game on paper, the theory of it. Item builds, we get to check on it one more time, and again, it is a big lead for the Eve, but it is as expected for the Eve versus Selena matchup. You're not a farmer on the Selena. You don't soak in waves that well, so it's a given, especially considering Selena has gone for roam boots, I think 3 games in a row, right? So
yeah.
It's all about the assists, it's all about the impact that he can provide in the team fights through that poke that you see on Sans.
Oh, okay. It stopped Sans' recall. It was brought down really low. So slight advantage here for Team Falcons. They recognize that Sans had to recall back. Another arrow lands. And more poke means that Keyboy is going to be put in a hairy situation. But DHS now for the carry, and Flap and Ogren are going to start feeling a lot of damage from the free hits if carry can get that.
Look at the traps laid down very, very well by Few. Constantly going to reveal Onic Esports' position. And maybe that's why we haven't seen Tigreal a lot. A lot of times for Tigreal, you want to flank, you want to look for an angle of attack that you know can get you a big set. But because of these abyssal traps, you try to conceal and you get spotted out, cancelled on the conceal, and then the whole flank, the whole initiation becomes very awkward.
It feels like that's the main effect of the Selena, and why it's gotten slower. Okay, Flap DZ, Purify already, real world manipulation committed. Flap survives. Ogwin enters, but still too far. The members of Team Falcons to follow up. Here comes Kyle TZ. He's gonna get control. Keyboy misses the implosion. It's not gonna land, and it could get punished. But Team Falcons doesn't have it just quite yet. Few lands the abyssal arrow. Wow. The discipline and another arrow by Few. If he can land the third, then it's a big one. I'm going to lose my mind here as Onic Esports wants to. Oh, it lands on the Keyboy! Plus the damage from the Granger. The turnaround is underway. A double kill for Super Marco. Few still landing. This time onto Kyrie up top.
It's a big gamble when you play the Selena, but not if you're Few. Holy moly! 1 assist this game, but that does not reflect the impact that he has made on this game, single-handedly stopping Onic Esports from taking the lead.
We saw a Selena in the hands of the Monster Mage do well. Now we're seeing it on the Golden Goat. The hero that he made the name for himself within the Philippines, still landing and hitting the mark, checking the members of Onic Esports, and just like that, the rubber band snaps, and it goes in the favor of Falcons with the Lord pushing forward.
We were talking about it, we were foreshadowing it. One big moment, and Marco will get those Sky Piercer stacks. He's gotten 2 in that last team fight, all on the back of Few again, and now he finds another. And it's just constantly going to be coming Onic Esports' way. We have to talk about that big whiff. Keyboy with a Keyboy moment. Flicker implosion onto Natalia.
Yeah, we just couldn't see the Natalia, but he got him 100%. But Team Falcons, immediately they knew they capitalized on that. Onic Esports still tried to go for the Lord, but Team Falcons were in the right position to contest it and go forward. And again, the arrows of Few. This is why Selena's back. It's easier for her to be aggressive, but because of the aggressive nature of the meta, you need someone to control, and that's what the Selena provides.
He's not going to get MVP for this game. Probably not, right? Based on stats, but he's my MVP.
He's the MVP in my heart, man.
Oh
Same.
my goodness. Just the traps to cancel out so many of the flank. But look at another one on Keyboy, and he will constantly just find Tigreal. Oh, and Severo is forced to go for Rose Gold. He has a 3-item power spike, so at least for Onic Esports, it is not over yet. Knowing that, you know, Super Marco has gotten, oh my goodness, has gotten past the early game where the nerf should hit him most. This is good for Super Marco too. He's level 14, he's about to hit his he already has all 6 items. This is the best spot for Team Falcons to close things out.
But the ticking time bomb that Team Falcons has to deal with is the easier to pull off combination that Onic has. The ultimate of the Eve, the ultimate of the Tigreal, supplemented by whatever loot we can get with his own sets as well, of course, with the Dark Wave on that Phoveus. It's easier to pull off. That's why Team Falcons, and especially Few, has been relentless with checking where Onic Esports are at any given moment. But full on 5v5, I'm still looking at even the Tigreal that Team Falcons needs to be super careful of.
Oh man, just one change in the draft. The Joy plus the Gatot Kacha. Now the Granger feels safe. There's so much peel. It's all really been about the Gatot Kacha. This was something that we were bringing up as well in the pre-show, how Gatot Kacha has now become the best friend of Snapdragon Pro Series, no longer the Badang, and we are seeing just how Gatot Kacha plays into games and, you know, kind of dictates the games through that ability right there. Just charge for such a long time and no one can dive within that window.
Yeah, you're threatening. You're looking, okay, you want to try to poke me, you will get taunted. I might have someone ready to set up. Onic Esports are poised around the Lord. Kyle TZ wants to get that purple buff first, steal it away from Kyrie.
Look at the poke.
And Onic Esports has not read it. Kyrie will go into this with just an orange buff. Yeah, Kyle TZ steals it.
I think they have read it. I think they knew the purple buff was being taken, but there's just nothing they can do about it, right? Like, they know Falcons are around the Lord, and not seeing Kyle TZ means, okay, he's probably up there, and I don't know, who's going to check? Who's going to want to face check the Joy?
No one wants to do that. Kyle TZ gets the purple buff, his own, so quick, with a minion wave marching up top. Once Severo gets seen by the minions, that might be the signal for Team Falcons to try something. Few tosses out the arrow. Kyle TZ going for Kyrie. Flap TZ going forward. Severo just cleared enough of the minion waves to say it's my time to join yet again. Key Boy needs to go back for a quick heal up.
Now looking at it again, right, the Selena plus Uranus gives so much room for Granger to just stack up. This composition almost looks like it's built for the Granger. You got 2 roamers and Uranus XP. Once he gets going, that's it. Like, all the mini waves can just be soaked up by Marco and then by Kyle TZ. So scaling up to the power spike doesn't look that difficult anymore. I wonder how many stacks Marco has.
Maybe a lot right now. Should be around the 500s. 400s or 500s for this Granger. It's been landing for him. A lot of minion waves also crashing in as well. Missile Arrow sees everyone.
Joy up top though. Missile Arrow again to be thrown at, and Onic will have to disengage. They will have to send someone up top, or do they decide against it? Do they let turret clear it away? Yes, they do.
Minion waves turrets should be enough, but that's threatening. And I think Onic Esports are deciding to call it the Kyle TZ. Not just here quite yet. They can go forward a little bit. That top minion wave is such a big problem for Onic right now, what Kyle TZ's been doing in the map, and how well Team Falcons has been handling this long Lord dance.
It's been well played from Team Falcons. They've just been poking, playing the side lanes, adjusting really, really well from game 1 and then game number 2. Again, that poke will be thrown at Onic Esports constantly. Death Sonata, Abyssal Arrows, Abyssal Traps laid in place as well, just to be wary of Key Boy's flying potential.
Oh, hey, we finally found Badang in the playoffs.
There you go.
That's where he's been.
He's been turned to a piece of paper.
For now, Missile Arrow gonna land with the Key Boy, but he used the dash just in time. Oh, my mid-animation. Falcons little by little pushing forward, but they're still handling minion waves. Top side, it's gonna be a big meet-up. The Onyx side of the river, Arrow will not land again. But that's the threat. One big arrow forces the dash out of Severo. Flap TZ goes forward. The ultimate, and Kyrie just easily gets it. AOG entry, but the real world manipulation is perfect. Loot P goes down. That's going to be one down. Kyle TZ going to the back line. Sans gets the flicker away. Supermarket going forward. He wants Key Boy, but Key Boy able to get away. Onic decisive to go for the Lord, but Falcons are still here to stop that push.
Clinical decision from Onic Esports. Now the poke back to Kyle TZ. Kyrie gets a stun.
He sees few, and Team Falcons are still on this side of the river. They have a Lord to deal with. What a call by Onic to go for that Lord. It buys them time. It buys them space.
Gets them a whole lot more tempo on the map. Bottom lane, though, they've got to send someone there. That is a big wave. There's no wave in the mid lane. Oakwen!
It's Laro gonna land, and Oakwen gets taken out by Kyrie just in time. Just like that, it now looks bleak for Falcons as Onic is getting so much more space.
Mid lane turret slowly but surely crumbling down to the minions. Sans will not risk walking up to take that turret down, and the turret stays alive. Team Falcons, I don't think they lost a single objective. They didn't lose a single structure, despite the Lord given over to Onic.
Yeah, the only one who lost a turret was Onic in the bottom lane.
Yikes.
With a minion wave, Team Falcons, okay, that was a big loss because it meant less space, but at the end, they got an inhibitor at the bottom. Sans gets spotted. Abyssal Arrow, last guy, he said he's going to try and go for it. Lutfi stops it, but Lutfi able to flicker away just in time so that he won't give a kill. But this looks threatening for Onic as Team Falcons are marching forward. Keyboy gets stunned by the Golden Goat, leading to a mega kill for Super Marco.
A golden arrow to take the edge of the spear from Onic Esports away without Keyboy. That is one less member they need to deal with when it comes to opening up the map. View continuously just being a nuisance to Onic. Another steal, this time onto the orange buff. And it's not Kyle, it's View.
That is a wrestling finisher move name right there. The Golden Arrow landing again and again by View. It's like super kicks left and right. Will it land? No, it won't. Gets the info. Kaltiz, he sees Kyrie. Team Falcon still confident because they got the key pick off onto Keyboy. But it was in this very similar scenario where Keyboy concealed Flicker and got Falcons. Just to remind you, in case you forgot what happened in N5, seems like Falcons remembers and says, yeah, let's just go for the Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, we saw this matchup already in the group stages. It was Onic with a win in Game 1, then Falcons with a reverse sweep, and Game number 3 ended in around 21 minutes. We're about to reach the 21st minute of the game here, and it is 1-1. It's always so poetic when we talk about Team Falcons versus Onic Esports. This roster has always been able to get Abyssal Trap. That's spotted. Has stopped Keyboy's conceal. Now the poke coming through from Marco. Fully stacked up. Severo has dealt with the wave up top, but there's a slow push building down below.
Who gets this Lord could win the game and eliminate the other. In the story of Onic and Falcons, Kyrie already forced a dash out because Few threw out an Abyssal Arrow that he had to avoid. Flap TZ sees it. Few sees it. Onic looks like they could get this Lord, but they're getting zoned out by the members of Team Falcons. Kyle TZ goes in for the implosion by Keyboy, but Keyboy gets taken on. Kyle TZ got the immortality, but Kyrie got down. Double kill for Super Marco, but Severo is on with a double kill onto Falcons. Marco brought low. The burn, Marco holding. He has the immortality. Few sent back, and Onic needs to go back because there's a minion wave at the bottom.
Yves got sent to deal with the wave down below. Kyrie knows Falcons have very low HP bars, decides to shove in mid and go straight for the Lord. Here, who do they send to help Kyrie? It'll be the Yves, Kyrie, and Sans versus Few and Marco.
Few, Abyssal Arrow doesn't hit. This should be the Lord for Onic, but Marco and Few will try and disrupt. Arrow getting tossed. It's 3 versus 2. It's too risky for the Falcons, and they have to concede. The Lord goes to Onic 22 minutes in.
The battle of the skies. 22 minutes. Falcons versus the Sky Kings. It's been a battle of who can fly further past each other, and now Onic Esports have secured an Evolved Lord. 22 minutes in, 5-7.
Could this be the beginning of the slow death of Team Falcons as they have to wait for this Lord to get close? This lineup is great on the offensive, but difficult to pull off on the back foot.
Team Falcons defense is questionable. You have the Granger, but I'm not too sure if they have enough damage to deal with the Evolved Lord. It's not a proper high ground hero. They have poke, they have range, but not in the sense where it can deal with the Evolved Lord. It is not a Sicilian, it's a Selena. You gotta stop some crucial flanks, some crucial engages from happening if you're Few here. You gotta find the arrow, the golden one!
Oh, and Sans with the Starfield. A little bit too early, but it provides a space. Keyboy already with the conceal. He's looking for the big implosion to finally end it. The last win of Onic was December 2023. Can they finally get the revenge? Severo with a free hit. Double kill for Severo, and Onic Esports finally get revenge.
The Sky Kings are rebuilding the kingdom from the ground up with new members, Severo and Lutfi. Finally, after years of losing to their kryptonite, Team Falcons have finally been taken down by Onic.